All right. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Show 214. And we are here. We ain't looking to do nothing but have a good time. We thank you guys for stopping by the show. We got plenty to talk about tonight. We're going to break down some high school stuff. And, of course, there's all kind of college stuff, Dean.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the bowls, some of the bowl games and the matchups and how we think they'll shake out. A couple of them a little odd, I thought. But I thought for the most part, a lot of the bigger bowl games are pretty good.
Yeah, which ones we're going to pick kind of odd. Come back and find out. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you guys for stopping by the Matt and Todd Show, the best dang sports show going today for all you good information. No politics and no BS, just two old guys up here just kind of shooting the breeze and talking about some high school and college football. First of all, right out of the gate, Cherokee County Warriors, North 4A champs.
2 years in a row. Congrats, Coach Kelly and the players.
Yeah, staff did a good job locking it all in this week. Pretty much 50 to they scored late on a play after they had put in some of their second team guys.
50-6, 43-0 at halftime.
Yeah, I seen the Griffin boy throw a pass or two or three passes or something for a couple of yards.
They held Mush to 59.
Yeah,
59 passing. 14,000. He threw for 14,000.
Guys,
Center Cherokee County, I call them Center, has a good defense.
Absolutely. So hats off to all them.
Yeah. Great game. Now they got a big matchup with
Old Catholic. Coach Juice. And they have a good staff. They're put together well. They've been there. They played in it in the 3A battle against Fife. Last time I seen them play in a state game. I watched them play Andalusia, and I've seen Catholic play Jacksonville. Fast everywhere, athletic, tall guys up front on the line, and the guys the trip that they've been through through the year, they're going to be ready to play.
They're going to be a formidable opponent, right?
Absolutely. I'm excited for the guys, and I promise you though, there's going to be one thing now. Fife's always going to pop pads with people, but this Cherokee County bunch they'll rotate your tires and check your oil and make sure your wipers are intact also.
I think it'll be a good game.
It'll be a hard hit.
You always hear, Center's got to run up on that South team. But this year, I'm kind of thinking, you better watch out for who you got up north.
Yeah, they've put in the work and the time, and they've been handling their opponents pretty well. The West Morgan game kind of got in their head a little bit, but they took care of business. And when you can make it through an adverse situation, they were tested and they made it through it. And I think it helped bring them together even more. Yeah,
that was a big win. I think obviously West Morgan's a top 5 team.
Yeah.
I think they would have won. Had they won and beat Cherokee County, I think they would definitely be playing for it. I think that was the best 2 teams in the North by far.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. A lot of people agree. Andrew says that Catholic has arguably the one of the best D lines, 1 through 7A probably.
I saw the yardage where they both average about the same, about 400.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got Jacob has rushed for 2,800, and you've got a couple 1,000-yard backs for them. I think their quarterback maybe.
Yeah, McCreary. Yeah, he's a big time player. He's broke all kind of school, state.
Throw for about 1,600.
Yeah.
But you've got Jacob's got 2,800. I'd say Woods closing in on about 700 or 800. Of course, you got Tay.
He's running some too. Yeah.
So Cherokee averaged about 350 on the ground. I think
2 good defenses are going to knock his.
2 good defenses, yeah.
And we'll be there Friday.
They got good offenses, but they also got good defenses.
Yeah, they don't give up a lot of points. Neither team is giving up a lot of points.
I don't know if either one. I don't think we'll see 800 yards combined in this game.
I wouldn't think so neither. I would assume it'd be a score in the realm of last year's, like both teams will probably have probably score each quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
something like whoever scores 28 first. Is that okay argument?
Yeah. I think somebody could get to 28.
Somebody gets 30. First one to 30 wins. Does that sound about right, Andrew? What do you think?
I think it's a good matchup.
Man, yeah.
Yeah,
and the edge. We always try to give an edge, and it's hard to try to lay that out. But Starkey brought this point up. Cherokee County seeing a running quarterback with Mush and having to play against a guy like that this round, because it's hard to simulate speed at practice.
Right.
So in a live game situation, they got to play against a guy that scrambles around a lot, Johnny Manziel like. So that gives them an idea of how the coaches prepare. So what I'm saying is, I don't think there'll be a big difference in a game change defensively playing from Coach Henderson, Coach Chandler, Coach Turner, and the guys and Caleb and those. You know what I mean? Defensively, probably not going to be a big change up. And with Cherokee County, you already know what you're going to get. They're going to. I mean, Coach Kelly's. It's not complicated. They're going to run the football.
Yes, and they've ran it well all year. I think. When you've gained close to 5,000 yards rushing.
Yes.
And it may be over 5,000.
Yes.
That's a lot of yards. Not too many teams have done that.
No.
5,000. I mean, Five's done it.
Yeah.
But Fitzgerald, I've seen where Fitzgerald's done it. Fitzgerald over in Georgia. You don't see that much. That's 350 yards a game.
Hush.
And Jacob nearing the 3,000 mark.
Another edge, maybe too, if you're trying to look for some edges.
Mm-hmm.
Center has played in the state championship last year.
They did.
The players know what to expect, what times to, they have to be up, times they're going to have breakfast, times they're going to have walkthroughs in the mornings, times to be on the field, times to.
It won't be a shock to their system this year.
Yes. Yeah.
It won't be,
Oh, Lord, like, what is this? We got to do what?
Right.
And the coaches are drug into meetings and, doing 5 or 6 different things at one time. And it's just a whole bunch of conundrum of stuff that's all going on at one time.
But yeah, a lot of these guys started last year, like Jacob and Tristan Brown and Alex Johnson, Tay, Caleb Arbor, So, I mean, I don't think it'll be a culture shock for them.
No,
and a lot of the linemen, Ransom.
Yeah, the
started last
experience factor of being there last year, it has to help a little, wouldn't it? I mean, wouldn't you guys think, Andrew and Coach Short and guys watching this, been around this?
I would think, Coach, you're not as nervous.
Yeah. Now it's a different stadium, but still it's still the big atmosphere.
Yeah. I'm sorry, nerves going to come in a little bit.
Sure. Oh gosh.
Game.
I mean, you're just a fan of college football in general, even though if you hate Alabama, Auburn fans hate Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Just, hate the whole idea of it. So even if a fan, could still, I guess, some of them could. It's not all of them's crazy. To appreciate the fact of just being somewhere. Playing in a big game.
Right. That's a huge one. You don't get much bigger than that.
No, we're very proud of the guys playing a good game. And Jacob rushed for what, 113?
144.
144. And Tay rushed for.
That was the other week.
His was 113.
And I think Woods gained 85 this week. So they still rushed for. I think Center still had about 320 maybe. No, it was more than that. 350. Mm-hmm. Tittle threw for 110.
Yep.
Wasn't it 100? How many did they have total?
260, and Jacob had the 144. Keyshawn had 85. Tay had 34 with 2 touchdowns. Jacob had 2 touchdowns. And shout out to Tittle for getting back out there.
Yeah, 3 passes.
3 for 3 for 111, 2 touchdowns.
Did he throw the incompletion this year?
And of course, his guy he's been hooking up with lately, Frampton.
Did he catch all 3 of them? Really?
So
He's had
again,
a good year.
Frampton's another 2 touchdown night for him. Shout out to him for, it just shows versatility, and it shows that, they don't have to just run it constantly all the time. And that gives a wrinkle. And Coach Kelly knows that. He wants to add that wrinkle so they can't just play punt defense on the line all the time.
Right, right.
And like you said,
Frampton's a threat now, and you got the big Mosley kid.
Yeah, passing wise, they had 12 completions out of 25 attempts for 58 yards, 1 touchdown was mush. And then the receivers had 37, 13, and 10. And their rushing guys were, of course, he ran for 30 himself. And then their tailback, number 20, run for 51 on 17 rushes. So
they had 140 yards.
26 rushes for 81 yards. That sounds like pretty good defense.
Yeah. And it don't sound like they were getting anything after the completions.
Oh.
12 completions for 58 yards. That's less than 5 yards of completion.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's good defense. They're not getting anywhere when they do catch it.
20 minutes time possession, and Westminster had the ball for 26. So that shows they were scoring in chunk play. Get a run with several yards in the run to move down the field pretty well at times. Fourth downs, 1 for 1 on fourth downs. So that's a big stat in itself.
Like I said, Jacob getting 2,800. Woo.
Yes.
Which, stats are skewed. And what I mean by that, I've read where Johnny McDupree gained 2,890 yards. I've read where he gained 2,980. I don't know what the official is. I think it's the 2,890. So Jacob could be the all-time. I mean, he's getting close, or may even be there, or right at it, the all-time single season leader for rushing yards. And I read for Cherokee County history.
Yeah.
But I did read that in the Herald, 1975, that Johnny McDupree had 2,891 yards.
Yeah, he was great.
In 12 games.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not many carries either.
Let's work backwards here, Dean. Let's get into 1A first.
All right.
Seen a little bit of Coosa play the other night when Aaron met up, got to be around John and Coach Short and Kevin and Pitts. And we had Brick Boy. He was in on the picture there with us, and the only one was missing was Starkey. He was flying in on 2 wheels. He had been down to Reeltown Commer game.
Wouldn't have left that one.
Game that went down to a field goal bouncing in for Reeltown and 2A to win to now be taking on 5, and we'll go that one in a second. So, got to hang out with the guys and see a good game. Was it 21-12? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good game. Coosa Christian really, they just ran the ball.
Yeah, second half, they never threw the ball.
No.
Yeah, he never threw it
after the first drive.
Mm-mm.
After the first drive. And
you just kind of recognize, like, okay, that's working, so let's just keep, getting 5 yards lick here. And he'll break one every once in a while and get 8 or 10 or 12.
Wilson and Hester.
Yeah.
All night. I mean, and defense played good. Yeah. Pickens County could. They got better as the game went.
They always do. That's why you just never. I told somebody, I said, man,
they fought.
People could pick Coosa in this game, and they feel like, well, Pickens may be down a little bit this year. Well, Pickens down
is still
high for some other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they went 10-4, but I mean they got a kick returner that nearly broke 2.
Yeah, their quarterback 4.
He ended up. I thought he was better later in the game than he was.
Man, he's hard to tackle, ain't he?
Yeah. But number one time he went and fielded a ball at the 1. Everybody's like, what's he doing? He run it out to the 26.
Golly, he slipped and jumped and stood on 1 foot one time. He was on 1 foot. This kid from Pickens. Shout out to the young man. You can tell me who he is if you know. He stood on 1 foot and spun and put his hand on the ground and spun out of a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's tackled at the 1. I mean, he's tackled about the 2.
Yeah, he had over 100 yards in kick returns.
Yeah. It's just fun to watch the guys. They work hard and they got a good coach.
But now, they do. But now Coosa Christian kind of imposed their will on the running game. Now, Pickens
tackled well.
Pickens would hit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Pickens would hit, but after a while, you're like, good gosh.
Yeah.
How much are you going to keep coming at us? I mean, because if Coosa ran 50 plays, 47 of them were right up the gut.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them. I'm not talking about literally at center, but there wasn't a lot of sweeps and stuff like that.
Not a lot, really. That's what I guess the Larrick and Coach want to do, and hey, tip your hat to Coach Whitmire, Teddy, for
say they rushed for over 200,
bringing the pain to Pickens to take the victory. Now, Leroy and Elba, that game goes down to the last 30 seconds of the game. How'd it go? Elba had scored to
go ahead.
Yeah, and then Leroy gets the ball back. Elba fumbled or something, and Leroy got the ball. We was watching it there toward the end. Everybody kind of felt like Elba was going to win it. Shout out to their back, Alvin Henderson. Gracious, he's and he's always going to get his, but Leroy hangs on 27-24 right there towards the end of the game, and return 1A South champs. They're going to come back and defend their title, which not really defending. I mean, they won it last year, and they're going, you
can't take that from them.
No. So, and a lot of people thought the way the game went last year at Pickens County, that Coosa would like to have a shot at Leroy. So now they're going to get that.
Yeah, and I think that's a good matchup. But I think Leroy's going to be a tough out.
They'll play Thursday.
And Coach Christian's very good on defense.
Yep.
Very good. But this is a good opponent. Leroy's won several state championships.
Yeah.
Multiple. And they just keep reeling them out, at least going down there.
Heck of a game. That'll be a good matchup. They'll play Thursday.
Well, either way, Coosa Christian wins. You get Leroy or Elba. How many times has Elba been there? So I don't think there'll be a lot of nerves on that end. I'm not saying Coosa Christian will have nerves either, but
well,
Leroy
they've never been.
There.
I mean, you're talking about a monumental moment for a program. I stood there with John Holder, and they shot a few fireworks stuff, and I just asked John, as being a part of the state that he has been a staple to, high school football, and everybody knows who he is, and he's the TV time he's put in doing it, covering high school around the state for a long time. And he's a Spring Garden guy, so he's from kind of, up this way. I just said, John, did you ever think, even a few years ago, that you would see the North 1A being represented by Coosa, by a little team here in Gadsden, right? With all the other big teams, what I'm saying, like the South Sides and Etowalls and Gadsden City, which they all had pretty good seasons themselves. South Side and Gadsden City,
they did
made good runs, and I'm sure they'll be back again, making other good runs, but and he said, no, not really. So 2A action, Dean, a rematch, and they've rematched, and they've rematched. 14 points was not enough, but 32 was for the Fife Red Devils in 2A. And Anderson has another good game. What do you have?
Over 200.
234.
Yeah, 234.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so he's past 2,000.
He's got another year, guys.
Completely different game this time.
Not a senior. Yeah, it was lower scoring.
56-42 when we went up there, 1,000 yards. This time you get 46 points and
shootout,
600 yards. I mean, so 600 yards maybe between.
Game plan, I guess. So now we mentioned a while ago, we were checking on this score back and forth, Reeltown and Comer, back and forth. Now, Reeltown 31, BB Comer 28. Tie game for a while. I mean, for minutes and minutes left in the end of the game. And it's just kind of one team gets it and they didn't, and they punt, and another team gets it, and Reeltown gets it and runs down toward the clock and gets down at that end of the field.
Yeah, and kicks a field goal, and it hits the bar and goes in. 31-28.
Wow, what a way to win.
And BB Comer had everybody back, so I can only imagine how good Reeltown is. That's going to be a ball game.
So now 1A South and 2A South went down to –
1A South and 2A South went down to the last second.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about that? And 3A North, we'll talk about that in a minute. But Reeltown and Fife, they did play in 2019. Final was like 50-something to
7.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from that Reeltown team.
That's not the same teams. Neither one of them.
No.
They're not.
No. So this Reeltown team is over 320 yards a game rushing.
So that loss, I'm sure, has got them on track to where they where they want to be.
Yes. Yes, I think that's going to be a fantastic game. Even. And that's some even matchups.
You can see that game it's at the 3:00 game after the Cherokee County 4A. Then the 2A will play. And we watched them play last year. 5 played BB Comer.
Yeah, great game.
Sheesh, man, that's phew. And where they fought and have to get there, is Reeltown. I'm not gonna say they're not ready, but it's hard to even get college teams back in. So how do you lock in, 15, 16, 18-year-olds
right
after
a big win
bar
like that.
Bouncing? It bounced off the bar.
Yeah, off the bar. I was surprised that BB Comer lost that. That's just a testament to how good Reeltown is, because BB Comer was for real.
Yeah, they were.
They held Harris to 81 yards.
Because I had seen an interview that Bode went there and done with the coach, and they were locked in. And they were prepared.
The score is not indicative of the yard. I read the yard. Nobody had a huge game offensively.
Mm-mm.
But it sounds like they did 31-28. But no, Harris had 81, which he probably made 27 tackles. Another back had 70 something. Reeltown's main back had 89.
Mm-hmm.
There was about 100. It was about 250 to 300 yardage. The yardage was not ridiculous. Good defense.
Did it go into overtime?
No.
Everybody
expected it.
Yes, they did, Bun. Because we had read somebody was there, and they thought it was going to overtime, but what it was, I think the clock had run out, so everybody said OT. Because remember that John was telling us, he said no, to put a second on the clock because they'd called timeout or something in time. And they run the field goal unit out, and the boy, hats off to the kicker, Reeltown. He is living the dream right now.
Yeah, they're 14-0. They
bounce it off the bar. Wouldn't that be? Would you rather it? Here's a poll for you. Would you rather the ball you kick to win a semi game? Would you rather it just go right through, or do you want it to bounce off the bar and go in?
I'd rather it just go right through.
I'd rather it bounce off the bar.
God, what a moment! They didn't. They knew it was going to bounce.
Oh, it's because they're holding their breath.
I will say that their celebration was kind of spine chilling. I mean, it just went crazy. I mean, it's like, what? No, we missed it. And all of a sudden.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It's like that kid you're telling, don't shoot that three. And then he hits it.
Don't shoot the bam.
Yeah.
He's weren't rest of the day. He'll be throwing them in all night. Let's see, 3A. We got to talk about Geraldine Bulldogs. Coach Michael, what a fantastic job you have done. Nobody, hardly anybody, give this team a chance to play close with a team that had drugged the Westminster team that Cherokee County also took care of.
Yeah, they beat them 47-7. Mass Academy is a powerhouse.
This game we're just keep checking on it, and they jump ahead. Was it right before half?
Yes,
it's right before half. They go ahead maybe in 2 scores, and they come back at halftime. Maybe somebody can fill us in. Maybe Geraldine got the ball after the half. And next time I check on it, it's a 1-point game again.
Oh yeah,
it was,
I mean, it just
31-32. I'm like, what?
Kept coming back and forth.
Yeah, so they adjusted at halftime. Geraldine did, and they come out and they fought tooth and nail to the last second. The last play we watched it, he's trying to hit a guy down the field, and he got sacked or whatever, went down.
About the 30, 35, 48-43.
Man.
48-43. I think Madison Academy scored with and I did have somebody I know pretty well tell me that Madison Academy could score pretty much at will, but it sounded like Geraldine could too.
Wow. It's just a good game.
It wouldn't have shocked me if Geraldine had thrown a touchdown on that, but they brought a lot of pressure, and they were able to sack him. And, man, they just came. And I'd heard that on the series before that it come down to, like, Geraldine was 4th and 2. Of course, you can't go for it. But it was that close. Those 2 yards, if they got the first down, they probably could have run the clock out.
So hats off to them, but
sounds like Mann had a good game, and Colvin.
Yeah, been enjoyed watching him play football all these years, and great classy kid, plays with real heart, and good sport.
I think he got the best out of him.
Oh, man.
I mean, 12-2. They lost to Sylvania. Mass Academy beat 5. 5's only loss.
Oh,
man.
On the South, Dean, this Mobile Christian is just, here's the points they've scored: 52, 35, 42, 34 against the defending 3A, St. James. The only 30 wasn't enough to do it, but 34 was for Mobile Christian, 34-30. They're just rolling right now. They have just all year. Andrew spoke about them when we were on the show, and Detroit. I think maybe it was Detroit said he had seen them play. Maybe he said they are very good. They are just better than everybody.
Better than Madison Academy.
Yeah,
that's just hard to imagine.
They'll play Friday at. Wait a minute here. Friday at 11.
Friday at 3 or 11.
11.
Okay. Yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I just can't see anybody just hammering Madison Academy. They may. We've seen it before. Hanley beat Madison Academy very bad in the state championship one time. That was a special Hanley team.
Yeah.
I mean, a special Hanley team. But they beat them good. I'm not going to say they killed them. They beat them 3 touchdowns.
Now, talking about 3A, we have to bring up reclassifications coming pretty soon. Rumor mill has it, just rumor mill. Now, this is just they, comma, quote, end quote, they. Collins will move to 3A. So they would be in this fight with, they're going to look to be fighting these teams like Gordo's and Geraldine and I don't know, Phil Campbell and none Susan Moore, but Lauderdale County and, Piedmont, cross region stuff probably. So we're curious to see how that's going to play out for them for 3A because they got a good football team. They put together a good group. They're young, but they'll mostly be 10th and 11th graders next year.
Yeah, they've got them for a while.
Yeah.
Like Gavin Lang and
so maybe
McAteer.
Getting 3A, 10th grade year, they'll have a run.
And Milk, they're all young.
Yeah.
When they're juniors. Will they be juniors?
No, a lot of them, this like his grandboy and all them.
10th grade.
Yes.
Yeah. Collinsville could be.
That could be.
I don't know about next year, but the next year. Whew.
Yeah, 3A. I mean, these teams we just mentioned, Lauderdale counties, and I don't know how they're going to.
I think they'll be good next year, but the year after next.
Yeah.
Watch out. When Lang and McAteer and all them juniors and.
They'll be playing Sylvanians and all them.
Yeah. I would think that Sylvania and Pisgah lost a lot. I mean, you got a group that both of them went to the third round.
Basketball and
Geraldine, and they're just a good group of athletes.
Yeah.
But this next group of athletes, who knows, they may be just as good or better.
Well, we've talked about 4A a little bit. Let's look at the they'll break down here. 52-6. Cherokee County's made a good run through here, taking care of business against West Morgan, which was a great game. I was at that one. They took care of Haleyville well, and
that was.
Of course, Central Florence took care of business. So points for Cherokee County in these games here, starting the playoff against Central Florence was 56, 49, 28, and 50.
Pretty good scoring average.
Yeah. So over here on the South, we can run through this and say Catholic they've kind of been through it. Coming up against a team like Booker T. Washington, which Booker T. was the Cinderella.
They were definitely the Cinderella of the playoffs.
Coach O'Neill, his thing was why not us? They took care and beat Jackson 20-17 on last second play. After Jackson had beaten Andalusia, and Booker T, gets in the news bubble by beating Hanley 22-9.
Yeah, Hanley and Jackson.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, that's good. Those are big wins.
Hanley's QB,
and Hanley, we watched Hanley. Hanley was good.
Their QB got hurt when I was told real early, really, really early in the game.
Fast team.
So Catholic over Jacksonville the week before, 44-20. Jacksonville, very good team.
Very good.
Ogles up front, they're very they're good up front. So, what I'm trying to say is trying to get an idea if people can get something in their head to see, because Cherokee County, we have played Jacksonville before. Jacksonville's a team that, when they were in the South for years, it's just a good matchup, always was.
Right.
I think Cherokee County can be physical up front, maybe more so than Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
So, to say this matchup is going to be a tame affair and the final score is going to be 55-50, I would be lying. I'm going to say it's going to be a war.
Maybe 25-20.
And I'm going to say, 28-21.
Yeah.
27-21.
I would buy that more than the 55-50.
I don't think the over-under for the scores would be over 60 combined. I just wouldn't see that.
No way. I'd say
there's a two good defenses.
Say it'd be in the 40s.
Now, Catholics, I think, is the number one defense.
Really?
Yeah.
In 4A?
Yeah.
And Center's got to be top 5.
1 through 7.
Oh.
So Coosa's like 2 or 3 in 1 through 7.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. And Cherokee County has a top-notch defense.
And they're top 5 1 through. So we're talking about two extremely good defenses.
Yes.
And some athletes are going to be checking each other out there and making sure their helmets are adjusted because they're going to be hitting.
Yeah, there'll be some hitting. A lot of speed.
Because that's what Coach Kelly lives on that. And he tells them when they break it down when I go visit them during the week, fast and physical is the type of football he wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
Fast and physical.
They play that, and their opponent will play it too,
which
is fine with that. He don't step back from a challenge. And it'll be that's what I think it'll be, a fast and physical game. But I still don't think there'll be a ton of scoring.
And
I think it'll be like that Rockmart Cedartown game we went to that time.
That'll be Friday at 11. How's it also at 11? They had
4A's Friday, 4A and 1A. No, 4A and 2A's Friday.
Yeah.
They must just have a typo there.
Yeah, because on the 3A, they just had Friday at 11.
3A
will be
Thursday at 11.
Probably Thursday at 11, not Friday. Okay, guys. So if y'all looked at that, that's not. This one is correct, and that one was not. We'll wheel through these others real fast. We don't have
we don't know a whole
bracket
lot
about none of these, but we can definitely mention them because they're big teams. And Gulf Shores,
Ronnie Royal,
a lot of rumors about them, how well they are. 45 zip against Eufaula.
Wow,
they're kind of like this Mobile Christian team we're hearing about. They're just kind of ripping through the paces here. Ramsey.
Excellent.
Over Gunnersville, which we know a little more about Gunnersville, 35-14. The Gunnersville's been.
Yeah, Gunnersville had a good year.
They took care of Pleasant Grove, and that Boaz game, 49-7. We were surprised that score. And the Southside Gaston, Boaz had beat Southside out, and that was another news bubble that popped up.
Ramsey's got a good program.
I
think did they win it last year? I think they did. I'll get mixed up, get my years mixed up. But it's not been long since Ramsey won.
There was a team that had the band that played behind us. That was Viger.
Oh, that was Viger. Yeah, they won it.
Was it Viger?
That was a couple years ago.
When we was at UAB?
Yes.
That band. Oh, they're good.
Yeah, Viger was good.
They come through there in that concession stand. Boy, they was just beating that drum.
51 you win them. But they beat everybody bad, though. Viger did. That year they did.
Let's move in over here to 6A.
There wasn't no shame in losing to Viger.
Saraland, they've been rolling along with everybody. They take care of business.
That's a good matchup.
46-7 against Pike Road, the former Junkins at Ole Miss tailback. He was at Pike Road. They'll be matching up with Clay Chalkville. Wow. Not sure about the concussion deal. They beat Parker 38-13. I think everybody had kind of assumed that. After Clay had beat Muscle Shoals 44-21, it seemed like I watched the Mountain Brook game, but after beating Muscle Shoals, it seemed like most people were like, okay, they're going to state. I guess they just felt like Parker wasn't going to match up with them well.
Oh, that's a good matchup. Sarah Lanning. And boy, there's some good matchups this year.
Yep.
Nobody really upset their way to it, did they?
No, when they'll play the night that we're there Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Macomba,
that's flip a coin on that one.
But it being Friday, he may get to play anyway because I heard this. What happened was he's out on concussion.
So you got the two best players in the state in this ball game, possibly Ryan Williams and Macomba.
Yeah,
or Macalba. I don't know.
Macumba. But and he's not a really legit quarterback. But the guy that come in, what I was told and watching some other pages, Andrew Nimley, y'all can shout out here that. This other guy that come in, he throws the ball more, and he did a great job.
If you're wondering what kind of athletes Clay Chalkville's got there, Tennessee's best receiver played there 2 years ago. So
that's why you hit the subscribe button.
Tennessee, not a school in Tennessee, college, Tennessee. the
Yeah.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Squirrel White. I did not know that. And I just got to reading about Squirrel one day, and he's like, oh, led Clay Chalkville to the state championship.
And of course, Central Phoenix 7A, they're the guys, and
Same two teams every year,
Yeah.
close to. Is it Thompson?
yeah.
Now, Clay Chalkville beat Thompson, right?
No, Thompson beat Hewitt Trustful 21-10, and Central Phoenix beat the Mary Montgomery 21-7.
Oh, I just thought Clay Chalkville beat them earlier in the year.
I don't know. Maybe
Thompson. I think they did.
Yes, they no. Clay did. Yes,
Yes.
they sure did. I watched that game. Yeah, Macomb. I just nearly single-handedly. God, what a game! They couldn't do no. I mean, he was just running all up and down the field like. I mean, he looked like we was watching Niners and the Eagles like McCaffrey out there. And nobody can tackle him.
Yeah. Good
Nothing.
player.
Oh man,
Good player.
then they'll play. They started off Wednesday night, so that's kind of that.
That's all you. That's good matchups. That's some of the better matchups. And the 49ers did beat the Eagles 42-19. I know that's one of the reason I'm telling that is just because that's what we was on when we came in here.
Yeah, we will definitely. We're gonna find out.
That is some great matchups from 1A through 7. I like that Clay Chalkville, Ramsey. And obviously some of these matchups, every one of them's not going to be 24-23. But on paper, that's some good matchups.
I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how. I really want our 1A. We're 1A people by trade, okay? Because it's the connection at Cedar Bluff, and it's just
like to see the North.
Yeah, gosh, man, I'm 1A North. Somebody.
I guess Pickens was the last one to win it in 13.
Yes, always is.
Is that right? I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
That's kind of what we're expecting to see. And
that's good luck to Cherokee County Warriors for sure.
I can't get this to. There's not even a button to stop it.
There's not even button to.
No.
Skip.
No.
Oh, there it is.
Well, it's not a sound button.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Wow, what a game there.
Lord mercy, boy, they're killing me.
The ads. Who is that?
I don't know.
Is that Murado?
Yeah.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that guy.
Mahomes, Murado, get in here.
Oh, Mahomes and Murado.
Yeah, Murado. Oh, and before we get to college ball, I saw where the Rockmart Yellow Jackets are back in the state championship.
Yep.
That's the only team I know of that's fairly close.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to see you guys down there Friday. And hey, shout out to all our sponsors, Warrior Gym.
Mm-hmm.
Call John up here at the gym, 256-266-4333. Get your membership started today. Scott Lloyd up here in town, legal service, any kind of deeds or documents or land deeds and whatever you got going on, call, get an appointment, and let him help you out. Scott Lloyd, 256-266-1416.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mobley Concrete Construction. Go to Jerry Mobley, 903-343-8581. And also April and J.R. McKissick, Cherokee Eye Clinic, 256-927-4030. That's up on Main Street here.
Yes. Yeah, thank you again to all our sponsors. Make sure you shop with those people, and because they help support us, that helps make a little shine for you people around here.
Yeah.
Take care of the people that take care of us. First off, we have to say congratulations to Miami, Ohio, SMU, Troy, and North Dakota State. All the little small teams bumping around there.
Yeah.
Winning their conference. Yeah.
Liberty won.
Yep.
Also.
Yep.
Now who won the Troy Appalachian State game?
Yeah, I think Troy did.
Okay. Now that was for their conference, was it not?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned them. Yeah, Troy.
Oh, you did
SMU.
mention Troy. That was a good game.
Yeah, Miami.
Okay.
I seen North Dakota State. I seen some of that game. They're
North
always,
Dakota
man.
State.
When are they not? Like, why don't we don't hear about NFL players out of there? What's
Just
the deal with
Wentz is the only one that I know
that? What's
of.
the deal with that?
Well, they just got a good. It's like some of them schools out in California. They're loaded every year, but none of their players ever go anywhere. I mean, they don't. They don't really. They may go somewhere small, but you don't hear a lot about it.
College conference championships, guys. We'll looking at the game here, and we'll talk about it first. I mean, it's the highlight. That's the highlight of the evening, and no need to.
Fantastic game.
I guess let's work backwards. Sometimes we start forward. What's your overall, thoughts of the game? By the the last 50 seconds of the game, what
I just think Milroe. I mean, he won it for him. I mean, with his legs, he won it for him on the drive before with his arm. I mean, the guy's nearly sacked and he shovels a pass to somebody. And Bond. What a bond them two have. And
OIB.
And I honestly believe, and I'll say this straight up, I don't think Alabama would have won that ball game if they'd had to punt back to Georgia.
Very, very, very possible. I don't know. It was like, pretty much right here you see in the 17-7, and that was a big 3rd and 1. And Arnold and them and Kool-Aid jumped that route, and then Milroe comes back out up the field, and the guys fall, the stuff in this pass here. There was just, I don't know, there was key plays in the game. That little 3rd and 1.
Yeah,
and different stuff, and why don't we don't review that? Let's just stop.
I don't like reviewing everything on Georgia or Alabama.
No,
and I know a lot of
silly.
people's upset over Bond's catch. I didn't like them reviewing Arian Smith's catch right there,
That's
the 51-yard play.
But on key parts of the game, Bama defense just showed up.
They did after the first drive
of the game. Georgia comes out, and it seemed to me that Georgia had a playing card. Bobo had a sheet. A lot of coaches do this. I've seen it. I've seen coaches do this. They have a opening drive sheet, and pretty much they're going to stick to that. Now, depending on the look they get from defense, they may have a waiver. Well, if we get a cover 2 here, we can do blah, blah, blah. They were prepared. They were ready. They had it all figured out, and I thought this may not turn out good. I told you, I said, man, they just went right down the field. I thought, man, we have got to Bama's going to have to make some changes. Adapt. And that they did, because Georgia only ran, they didn't even have 80 yards rushing the rest of the night. And that was the end of it.
They had 26% of their offense. I read this today, man, was on their first drive. 26%. And let's not take away from the game and blame it on bad refs or these. No, I didn't think
there
was a lot of bad calls in the game.
Not really. This was pretty straight down the middle. Let's just don't.
I
People ruin the game because they're upset that their team lost, and I get it. Georgia cannot beat Bama. Nobody's ever beat Bama in Atlanta but Tim Tebow.
I know.
Nobody.
That was a million years ago.
No,
I put something.
on.
I'm trying to be funny, but nobody can explain this. It's gotten beyond craziness. This Alabama program just keeps winning.
They win in Atlanta.
We don't know why. I mean, you got 640 different coaches. You got different players.
This is not a great staff by no means.
Isaiah Bond is not one of the top 7 receivers in the conference.
Is he All-American even?
Lord, no.
See what I'm saying?
No, Burden and Neighbors.
McConkey and Bowden,
I don't know.
I figured they would. So working backwards from the end of the game, I thought they figured it out early.
Very.
Georgia had a plan. They worked their plan, and it run out with about 10 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
I did. I told him for 2 quarters, I said, they look absolutely discombobulated.
And don't, please don't. I don't
know what happened.
I've been on Facebook for 2 days with mostly Auburn fans. It's just insulting to say that I cannot have a comment about the game. And just because I'm pulling for one team or the other, I'm a Georgia fan when they're not playing Alabama. I like Georgia. I always have. But it just kind of is silly. And I know we can be funny and have fun and joke back 24 to each other and talk some smack. But don't tell me that I can't see the game fairly. I'm explaining to the game, and I'm telling you why the other team opposed from Georgia, whoever it is, the blank looking team, this is why they won. And the show that we did with Birds, we broke down the pluses and minuses of each team. Where's Bama good? We did offense. Where's their positive and where's Georgia's negative? Right now, where's Georgia's positive on defense and where's Bama's positive on offense? And we went through the whole, and we made a case, and we both laid out our paperwork. Birds had Georgia by like 10 or 12. I had Bama by 3. I like 31-28, 28-26, which was about, what we got. So Bama figured it out. Milroe was the difference. Check. That's what it was.
That was the difference.
They have not seen. I tried to tell people, and I had other fans, and it was some Auburn fans at work. Well, what do you mean they can't tackle people? I said, I'm just telling you, they have not. Well, they ain't seen a quarterback like Beck. I do agree, but there's things you can do about a quarterback like Beck. You can rush him and get after him. And Bama with Turner and Broswell have 2 of the best rushers to get after him.
I thought Alabama's linebackers played good.
What difference? What guy does Georgia have? They're not real good up front on D.
I thought their DBs played excellent.
Yeah, they are good.
I thought
we talked about this.
They played very good.
We had Birds on all the time, like week 3.
I thought Georgia's DBs played excellent.
Yes, and we said when he come on, we're low, and he is too. Well, I'm a little worried about our front 3 or 4 guys.
Right, he did
they
say
really
that.
have a pass rush, and they let a lot of plays leak. They let a lot of stuff leak the edges because they were loaded last year. Guys, Georgia fans, don't be silly.
But I thought Alabama's front linebackers, secondary, they didn't play bad.
It was okay.
They didn't play bad. And Beck's good.
Absolutely.
Beck can light it up now.
Yeah.
I've always said I thought
they threw for what, 220 something?
240. Yeah. And, boy, they were on a mission there. And that's why I didn't want them to get the ball back. Because I told him, God, they get this ball back with Alabama not scoring. And Alabama had 9 yards in the second half and got it and drove 80.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, Jeff just said they were just a better team tonight.
They were yesterday, yes.
No,
they may play tomorrow and be a different story. They're even is what the deal is. Because as good as Alabama played, they still only won the game by 3.
But they leaked a little there at the end. They just kind of let off. I told you, I said they're letting off the gas. Saban is known for doing this. I'm screaming, call it. How many times I screamed timeout?
On that 4th down.
How many times?
Yeah.
And Georgia called it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm screaming timeout. You got 3. What are you doing? Get a play together. Call timeout. Don't let them score down here.
Well, they both fought. How hard a time did both of them have scoring from the 1? My gosh.
Damn.
That was ridiculous. How many plays were stopped at the 1?
Probably 9 altogether.
By both teams.
Yes. 9 combined.
To me, the play of the game, and I know y'all going to be like, this is crazy.
There's one of them right there.
The play of the game was when he was 3rd and 26. Yes. And he hit Black for 22 and made it a 4th and 4, which allowed them. And I know people are like, well, Bond didn't catch the pass. I don't know. Maybe he didn't, but they didn't review it.
Yeah, well, if you catch the ball and your knee goes down on the ground, I guess he was down. I assume that's how football's played, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
But that's play of the game, the 22-yard. You can't give up 22, and I know they did. And obviously, Alabama ran a good play right there. That 22 to Black. That's the play of the ball game. And Georgia also lives in 5 yards off that field goal. They had a 45-yard field goal, got a penalty, made it a 50-yarder.
Those kind of plays like that,
I didn't like the horse collar call against Georgia.
That's terrible call. Terrible call. He grabbed him on the top of the pads. How do you not see that? If you're standing, that's not the horse collar is inside the pads.
I wasn't crazy about the interference call on Alabama. That's the only 2 calls I had a problem with.
I didn't like it either.
Because they just played rough all day, both sides.
Yeah.
But, he did technically pull on him.
Yeah.
But they've done a lot of that all day, both teams.
That's right. This play right here. I mean, he just goes down. He is just not going to be tackled. Stopped him.
And that catch Bowers made down there on their last drive. Jeez. Look at that.
3rd to go.
I thought they might have could have reviewed some of those.
That's when he spun him sideways, elbow hit on the 1. We're on 4th and goal, and they put in the big package, and they finally get him. That just shows how close these teams are.
Yeah.
Now,
when you get 7, 8 plays on the 1 stopped.
I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I wanted to work backwards because that's really when more of the game was, because that's kind of when Georgia woke up and scored again late here. I mean, you know, like this play here, you know, gets them on the board because if you work from the front of the game, it's just Georgia come out and had a big play, a couple of plays, scored, and then that was just it.
Well,
that was about it.
Oh, that's the play. That's the play of the game, probably.
That probably the play of the game.
Yeah.
Milroe taking off the big run there toward the end of the game, sliding down, staying in bounds, let the clock run.
And I'll tell you.
That fake pitch and cutting back up the middle.
Yeah.
Now, did you hear Saban said, a reporter said, we saw that Georgia Tech run that play several times against Georgia, and they had a trouble defending it. Did you get that from them? And he said, well, I won't say we did or didn't, but we do watch other games.
That definitely did it.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I'm not knocking the play. I'm sure that he did fumble, but it didn't even go anywhere.
No.
Alabama's recovered more of their own fumbles. I'm serious.
Watch this Georgia guy here. When he fumbles it, he picks up the
he thought they had it.
Yeah, he starts going like this, like how there's nobody even on the ground with him. How is it? But anyway.
Other key plays in the game, I thought the oh my gosh, I had it right on the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia fans don't want to hear this, but Mitchell transferring to Texas killed you. Yeah. He plays in that ball game. He's another receiver in that ball game. He's probably in the playoff. I mean, because he's good. And of course, he's in the playoff. Texas is in the playoff.
Yeah.
And, but I think that was a key loss for y'all. But,
it definitely didn't help.
Oh, I know what it was. No, that hurt y'all.
Oh,
and the play where Georgia fumbled. And then they worked on that, but that hurt bad. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, it killed them.
Well,
it's a difference in the game. 3 points.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Bobo. Some coaches just overthink themselves on stuff. Mm-hmm. Quit trying to be cute.
I didn't hear a lot of Bobo ripping yesterday, but I don't think people liked that play. But it was 3rd and 2.
Don't try to be cute right there. There's no need to try to, be fancy or whatever. It's just why do that when it seems like they've been throwing the ball fairly successful. Been taking care of things. But he knew from the first quarter they just couldn't run the ball.
No, and there wasn't a lot of yards. They had 78 rushing. Alabama had 114. Neither one of them was, I think Bond led Alabama in receiving. Wait just a second here. Bond led Alabama in receiving. Most of it on that drive that put them over the top. And, of course, Bowers and McConkey were the leading receivers for they made some good plays down there at the end. They were act like they were getting warmed up there at the end. And I was like, I told Matt, I said, they cannot get this ball back. For Alabama fans, they did not get the ball back.
I was still worried that even when there was 2 minutes,
I don't know. I thought it was over then. Barring a fumble.
I'm just one of those clocks on zeros.
I was impressed with Beck. I got to say I was impressed with Beck. He had some pressure on him, too.
And with that win, pretty sure I read that Alabama's now won the most conference championships in the FBS with that win.
I went on an Alabama tear after the game, and I've doubted them. Matt knows this. I'm not trying to be the opposite of a homer, but I just didn't think they would be in the playoff this year.
No, we had LSU winning the West.
And, but I don't know. I can't explain it, but if I had to pick right now, I'd say they'll win it.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Who's going to beat them? I mean, come on.
Well, let's find out. We can run through this kind of quick. It was what it was. Washington and the Ducks, they played on Friday while we were gone. We watched some of it on iPad on one of the cameramen from F&N. He had it on his tripod there, and we would sneak a peek over there once in a while. And the wife was watching at home here, and she was just telling me Oregon's defense is terrible, and I don't know what they're doing. Bo Nix is running for his life. Those are the comments. So I guess I could sum the game up with those comments.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's happened with Washington. Their running backs turned it on. I mean, he is gaining a lot of yards.
Yeah.
He gained 150 the other night. Dylan Johnson's his name. So it's not just the Penix Adunza show. It's Dylan Johnson, too. So now they've got a running game and a passing game. How do you like their
Bo didn't look sharp.
No, he ended up with some pretty good numbers. They settled down. They come back and was ahead late in the game. I watched the highlights when I come in. I've ain't been in bed, but
they
did go ahead.
It's been 2:00 in the morning when I'm asleep, Friday and Saturday night.
24-20
because of the late games and getting in, and then this highlights, and then last night I'm up talking to people all night long, watching Dog Nation and all that stuff. And oh, by the way, I didn't like to hear. The guy from Dog Nation says, we don't make excuses like them, talking about Alabama. And then he says, but if McConkey and Bowers were 100% because they were only 75%, don't.
Well, that's an excuse.
Don't say we're not like them, because most people that just watching the game of football in period, you kind of feel like if Williams didn't go out, and he's torching everybody, then when he goes out, Georgia wasn't winning.
Right.
But that's part of the game. Injuries happen, and it's just terrible. And it's just bad the way it happened. But back to Pac-12 championship, it looked to me watching the highlights. Just a quick summary for me, Dean, is they got out-coached. Coach Lanning was not ready for this game.
Washington just keeps finding a way to win.
And good teams. I heard from other comments on posts. Great teams find ways to win.
They do. They do. Do you like their chances against? I know. Well, we can get into that later. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
We can get into that in a minute.
I don't. Man, I can just not get it together. I don't assume that now that the Pac-12 is over. What are you kind of feeling here?
Well, I think they went out good. You had the Colorado story, which was very interesting. Oregon and Washington legitimately getting in this. There wasn't out of all the teams in it, there was no question they're in, and I thought Arizona had a good year. They come on and did real well. Wasn't supposed to. We're not supposed to. So I think having a team getting represented and they're the number 2 team, I think that's good. That's a good way to go out. I hate that their conference is gone, but
some of that could have been avoided. You got to you have to make TV deals.
I'm not a big fan of Washington being in the Big Ten and Utah. Let's go play Illinois today and go to Indiana and Maryland. I mean, I don't. Well, and like Matt said, they'll probably fix it up in football where it ain't that bad.
No, it's not a big deal. But
now basketball and stuff, you're going to be on road trips for a month.
Volleyball.
You'll have to. I mean, if Utah.
How's swimming and track going to work too? Track and field's a mess.
Oregon cannot go play Illinois, fly back to Oregon, and play Purdue on Saturday, and then go back to Ohio State on Wednesday. They can't.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you can, but
somebody's going to have some frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, they're going to have to go on road trips. The Oregon basketball team will be gone for the next 6 weeks, so you'll be learning virtually. It's going to be like the pros. You have to go on road trips. Be gone.
So I guess it's a good showing. It's
quarterback
town out there. The quarterbacks played well. It was probably some of the better quarterbacks around. Jaden Daniels, I think, is your Heisman winner.
I think so.
I think Penix should be invited. And
Nix will be invited, I'm sure, won't he?
Yeah, I would think so.
Harrison, probably.
Yeah, probably your 3 finalists will probably be Nix and Penix and Daniels.
Yeah.
And the votes will be split between them. So that's a good spread out. It's not like you have like 2 guys on one team is going to kill the votes for each other. So
Milroe may end up getting some votes. He may finish in that top 10, along with Caleb Williams. Is probably going to finish in the top 10 again, maybe. I mean, he hadn't had a terrible year. They haven't won, but he didn't have terrible year. Ewers, I'd say Ewers would get some votes, wouldn't you think?
Mm,
Maybe.
No, I wouldn't think so.
He did miss some games.
Yeah. He'll be in the SEC next year. He'll find out what he's about.
Yeah.
Now, the most talked about team, and there are Florida State fans around here.
Several.
Surprisingly.
Yes.
I don't know why. And I watched Uncle Lou earlier, and he's like, in South Georgia, there's tons of Florida State fans.
What?
So with this game in hand, I watched a lot of this game, and it never felt till probably, I swear, probably, I remember looking up there and seeing the score. It was fourth quarter. It just started. I was typing notes and doing some pictures and stuff for the thumbnails for the YouTube page and getting some notes together. I never felt like Florida State had control of the game. It just always felt like at any minute, Louisville was so close on several plays of turning this game around. I mean, like this right here, they're throwing a quarterback on the ground. They're getting up, they're fired up. This is the number 14th ranked team in the country, and you're number 4, and you're playing for your conference championship. So this is going to come up. So we might as well just pour the beans out on the table right now. The quarterback getting hurt had to do with them not getting in.
Yes, definitely.
It had to do with it.
Yeah.
Because TV rankings were bad last year. The MTI, I think is what they call it, MTI TV ratings were down 10%, and they would have been down 10 more percent. And Florida State fans, I'm sorry you didn't get in. I like Florida State.
I do. I'm proud of their year. They had a great year.
We did a big spill on them this summer, and you did. And you said, these guys are going to be good. I don't know why they shouldn't win the conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they had so many starters.
Everybody back, and we had them like, wow, that's probably a playoff team. But just realistically, and this says, again, please don't just say, well, he's a Bama fan, so no, just stop doing that. I can say this is how it seems. Facts are that the numbers were down last year. Now, we don't know if the numbers would have been down this year if they'd have put Florida State in to match Michigan. We don't know that. But here, this is true. What do we know for sure? Is Florida State worse without Travis?
I don't think they're nowhere near as good.
Okay, so they're worse. So that's a fact. That's not our opinion. That's not what we feel. This is not a alphabet type mafia people. We don't feel things, and that's just what we feel like. We're telling you what it is.
Yeah. No, they're not as good.
Okay. Now, is the ACC in general, they're not just
world beaters.
They're not. But now they're going to say that, well, we've beat your SEC opponents. They're 4-2 or something against.
Yeah, Clemson beat South
That's
Carolina.
True.
Florida State beat LSU.
And Florida State's win against LSU is a good win.
Yes.
Florida State won how many this year? 7, 8 games.
What's that?
LSU.
What did LSU 9?
Won 9 games.
Went 9-3.
So 9-3. That's a pretty good team.
Yeah, lost to them, Ole Miss, and Alabama.
So I think it's just that is your key win. So what I'm saying is
that was their best win.
As a
Clemson
conference,
being their second best win.
ACC's best play the SEC's mid teams like South Carolina, Florida, and such. Now, when you're going to have to play the upper tier of the SEC, and we'll see how that turns out. Florida State will have to play Georgia.
Yeah.
That should be a good matchup. And we hope that their second string guy, Nutamaker.
Rodemaker.
I call him Nutamaker, like Joe Nutamaker or Joe Dirt. We'll see how it turns out. So is it fair? So, I mean, this is what everybody's talking about. You can see the score here. This is the fourth quarter. You're up a touchdown against number 14. Now, if we're going to pick teams, if you're going to, pick a team apart and say, well, a win's a win and it don't matter, then you can't go back in the next sentence and say, but Bama made it in, but they struggled with Arkansas. They didn't play good against USF. So if we're not going to needle, then if you're going to needle Bama, then let's go back to Florida State and let's needle a little bit. How'd they play against Boston College?
1-2 with Travis.
And Boston College has won how many games this year?
I think they're bowl eligible,
Okay,
but they
won
didn't.
6.
No.
And other games,
It would
Virginia
be
Tech.
They had a tough time. They had a tough time. Let me look at they struggled in a couple of games.
So there's 10 minutes left in the game, and they're up 3. So what the committee has done, and I'm just saying this is, it seems to me that the committee is watching games. They're not just saying, well, a win's a win and a win is a win, not become enough. Well, it didn't become enough when you're talking about trying to match up top tier teams. So you need to watch the game. And in watching the game, it seemed like the committee has watched Alabama, and they saw they've improved over the year. And they watched Florida State and saw that they digressed. And without this big run right here with 5 minutes left in the game, Louisville may got the ball back, scored. They wouldn't even a touchdown for nobody forever. I mean,
I know.
Florida State's like up 3-0 forever. I'm like, if Louisville scores, they may win the game 7-3. So the reason is the schedule wasn't really good. The conference is just down. It'd been helpful if Clemson would have been better. And a big laying factor is your quarterback's out. And most people, by assumption, they didn't want to see 50-0 Michigan over Florida State.
Well, no. Now, I think if he'd been in, they probably would have got in and would be arguing about Alabama or Texas. It would have come down to Alabama or Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they would have went with Texas. We don't know.
It seemed they would.
They might have, somebody in the community might have like, well, they just beat the number 1 team, so they're going in.
Mm-hmm. And beat number 1.
Milrose playing a lot better now than he was then.
Beat number 1's got to be worth something to me. I'm a SEC homer, and I want our conference to get in. I know there's fans of other schools in the SEC that hate Bama so much they just hope anybody beats them.
But you really can't have the argument about the close games with Alabama, with Arkansas, Auburn, and A&M. Because, I mean, Florida State with Travis had close games against Miami and Boston College, who were also going to bowls, but everybody had close games. Georgia had a close game with Auburn and Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nobody's played Michigan close this year. Washington's had several. Texas has had several. Texas beat TCU by a field goal.
What did Florida State's record kind of look like? And what were some games who did they kind of blow out?
They beat Duke pretty bad, but I think Duke's quarterback got hurt in that game. They did beat Duke, beat Syracuse bad.
How Syracuse is?
I don't know if Syracuse was bowl eligible. They did beat Virginia Tech pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of them, Florida by 9. That was a close game. Pitt by 17. And of course they're, which everybody does it. Alabama did it. Georgia did it. Your gimme games, North Alabama, Southern Miss, they blew them out. Their biggest win of the year and best was probably against, it was definitely
LSU game, yeah. So what you're saying is it's probably best to not needle other teams less because you're going to get needled back. And we find out that everybody struggles with somebody here and there. And Georgia and Alabama both had a tough time at Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
And what fans from up north will not ever, admit is that, there's rival games down here. Georgia and Auburn is the South's oldest rival. They've been playing since the 1800s. I think their first game was like 1898. That's how Auburn actually come up with their War Eagle thing.
Right.
They beat Georgia, and this guy found this golden hawk out there, and he nursed it back to health, and he saw that it being there at the game, it flew around the field before the game. That's what helped him win the game.
Right.
It was good luck.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, only the Ohio State Michigan game because it's the game. Well, it's not the game down here. So y'all have pro football up there, and we don't here really.
No, there's not a lot of pro. We got Atlanta,
the Saints, and the Falcons, and the Titans. Kind of who we are. The Dolphins,
maybe the Panthers.
Yeah,
but that's a good ways. So that's 6 or 7.
And that's usually just Auburn fans because Cam went there,
right?
And now you got a lot of Bama fans because Bryce is there,
right?
And there's Dolphins fans around here because of Shula and that type of stuff. So, but one rival is as important to its fan base as the other.
Mm-hmm.
So, Florida State gets left out. Their quarterback got hurt, and it's just not fair because
It's not, but
the players, it sucks for them.
yeah.
They put the time in. Those seniors are not going to get to play for national championship because their quarterback got hurt. Could they have adjusted and just ran the ball all night? I guess, but here's reality. Money is what makes this work. Tickets, butts in seats.
Most people would not think it would be a good game right now with Florida State. Now, if Jordan Travis was playing, yes, nobody would say, "Oh, I don't want to see that."
No, I would have enjoyed that game.
Yeah,
and Bama would have been playing. We may have got Oregon, or we may have got Ohio State.
They might not. I don't know. It just depends on what they would have done with the Texas stuff. But
if Texas goes in comes in at 4, and Florida State would have stayed, they would have been up. They'd have moved up 3.
Yeah,
Washington and Michigan at 1, and Florida State.
Florida State matchup.
Yeah, it could have been that way. Well, no, Florida State. Washington won first. They probably would have moved Florida State in last at 4. Just left them at 4. They won their game. Even though Bama beat Georgia. Sorry, we're going to put Texas at 3 and put Florida State at 4. So Florida State, you get Michigan.
Well, I mean, the guy on the thing said head-to-head. He goes, no, if they go head-to-head and it comes down to Texas and Alabama, and Texas is going in. Now, he did also say that they may put both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once I seen Texas was 3, I went live during that. I was watching it live when I seen them 3. She was standing there at the doorway, and I said, they're going in. That Bama's going, because that win over them, they're going to pull Bama into it.
Yeah, well, that was they felt like that was the fairest way to do it.
Well, if here's the thing, and we'll move on from it. Todd, if the whole idea that the media, I didn't have Georgia won many weeks. I was
no, you didn't. You didn't. You had them in the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, they were usually number 2 or 3. I didn't think they were that good, and it did play out last night that it turned out exactly like I said it would. Milrose difference, they won by 3. So beating number 1 has to be worth something because the media said Georgia was so great all year. So if you don't allow Bama to play for it, then everything that they said was a lie. They didn't believe what they said. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Did you really believe Georgia was 1? Because it seemed like they were 29-0 and they're the best team, back-to-back national champions. And then when Bama wins, the volume goes down and they go, well, but, that Missouri game and my Auburn and, so why would you do that? Why don't you start that now when just 5 minutes ago at halftime, if anybody knew game, if Bama felt like they were going to win it, Georgia made a little run there at the end, and because Bama does that, they just
I was worried.
Slow down. I don't know why they slow down like that, but you can't say they're the best team ever. Then somebody beat them, and then they're like, "Well, no, I don't know. The team that beat them shouldn't play." Well, how? How can you say that?
Right.
Because if it would have been reversed, and it has been, we've been the other side of that, and somebody beat us. Hey, you beat the man. Hey, hats off, bro.
Yeah. I think they probably got it right. If FSU goes and beats Georgia 46-7, which I don't think they're going to, then we'll say, oh no.
So,
and then Michigan drills Alabama, which I don't think none of that'll happen.
But we'll find out. I want to see the fortitude of these Florida State, some of their players, if they're going to cry and opt out and not play against Georgia, or
I think they want to keep this.
Are they fired season. Up? They're peed off, and they want to go prove a point to say we're going to beat your number 1 team, and Bama beat them. Well, we're as good as Bama. They should not have jumped over us. We're going to go beat them too, and we're going to beat them worse than Bama did. We're going to keep them to 50 yards rushing, and we're going to sack back 10 times. That's the game I hope for. I'm not saying I hope Florida State wins or Georgia. I'm just saying I want a good game, and I want all their players to play. I don't want to hear in next week players opting out at Florida State. I don't want to hear.
I don't think we'll get that from them.
I hope not.
I know Travis is devastated over it.
I bet he is. He feels
like it's his fault.
His fault. It's not, man. God's got a journey for you, and you're on a path to something great. And I know that sounds like a soliloquy or something, and I'm just talking about Hallmark cards. I promise you. And I'll be glad to get you in touch with Jamie Hampton, and he'll tell you a long story about how God works, because he did the same thing to him.
Yeah.
So, and we ain't got to do Michigan. Well, I don't even. That wasn't no ball game. They can't even score on. It was exactly what we thought it'd be. Khaki Pants is going to get in. They did an interview with him. He's excited for his guys. He thank God for giving him the ability to coach and the opportunity to play such a historical team. These are two historic teams, even though Michigan's never really won anything. I mean, what have they ever really won?
I won in '97. It's the only one I know of.
Okay, so maybe they'll win their second title. Now
They could.
Now we're going to do predictions 6 ways from Sunday. We got weeks and weeks for that.
Yeah, we got a long time.
And next time we'll talk about the finishing of high school football, and then we'll start plugging on some basketball around here.
Yeah,
and kind of just be local basketball. And
I don't really know. I know college ball's in full swing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was going to mention this. Tennessee's already played 3 top 10 teams. Tennessee football's men's.
Yeah.
But I told Matt yesterday where Kentucky got beat by North Carolina Greensboro.
What?
But I don't know who's ranked. I don't know how Alabama's doing. I don't even know who's number 1.
Probably not.
I think Kansas may be number 1.
Next show or the next one, we'll start getting into some college basketball, and then bowl games will start. We'll start picking bowl games, and we'll put them up there and talk about who's going to get in, and I mean, who wins some of these bowl games. And we do have a few that we know about right now.
Right.
But I guess for next week, we're just going to kind of finish up the season for high school football, because we will be Friday. We'll be at Tuscaloosa, and we'll get to see the 4 and 2A play for sure. We're going to see them play.
Yeah, I'm excited about the. I don't know. I just think Cherokee County has I'll just be honest, and I think Coach Kelly knows this. Nobody gave them a shot at all last year. I think they've got a shot this year.
Yeah. Well, I just think being there before just matters. No team I can think of don't go to state for 3 years, shows up the first time and wins it. Now they can.
Well, yes. Center did that. Well, no, that was their second year. Never mind.
And Catholic may go down and it be a good game, and they beat Cherokee County. That may happen. It could. But man, just experience wise, their guys have been there. The coaching, and when the coaches, man, it's one of the coaches told us, John or somebody said, man, a story from a coach, I didn't even get to see my team. I mean, we go down there and I'm doing pictures and interviews, and I want to get my guys ready. And I think it's already done, the hay's in the barn, but so, I think that may be the way it goes out.
Yeah. Just a lot of,
we'll talk about that when we come back.
publicity.
Sunday. We'll go through all the state winners, and we'll talk about that. And Wednesday night, we'll have the girls media day up here at Easy Street. Be there about 4, a little after. Shane will have some mics up on the tables, and we'll come in and grab a burger and shoot the breeze and talk to Coach Rat and Coach Bates and Coach Nelson and Coach
Barton.
Yeah.
Good Barton.
Yep.
And McGinnis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've talked to them. They're excited to come over and, get a little TV time. And it'll be live on our page just like last time. I'll prop the phone up there, and we'll shoot the breeze and talk to the girls. And that'll kind of seal the deal for, that. And I'll get things set off on a ticket. And we'll be going some games. I'll drop in and see the boys and girls center play over here when they're done. They'll be done with football Friday. No matter what.
One way or the other. It's over Friday.
Yep. They'll play in their last football game, some of them. And go over see the boys play, and Spring Garden girls and boys. Excited to see John and Jacob, see how they're going to turn out. Caden, he's over Cedar Bluff now. See how Johnny said he's young, he's coachable, learning how to move his feet more, and becoming a better player. So we'll get into that kind of stuff. What you'll start seeing more as we go on, and bowl games, and then we'll just be kind of college basketball, and we'll ride it out till.
We really don't really get into college basketball till later. But
we'll throw in some NBA scores.
Yeah.
Building some NFL stuff.
I just know they're fighting a lot.
NFL scores. We'll talk about some of our favorite teams. The
Eagles, we're getting into the playoffs.
49ers in January, February.
I think there's only There may be 3 or 4 weeks left in pro football. Not many.
Yeah, a month.
Yeah.
So we'll knock some of that down, and of course there'll be something to talk about. But hey, one day next week I'm gonna get with Jason Mallett. He broke the silver records, which is the older guys like over 40 or 45. He benched. I'm gonna get it wrong.
900. No, I'm kidding. 5, was it 6?
Yeah, 525. See, I can't remember my memory. I spotted him one time, did 525. Maybe it was 5, but he benched a lot of weight. Okay. Jason's been doing this for 30. I've known him since we were 14, 15. He's been doing this stuff forever, and he's got him a team put together. And I talked to him a little bit, and his son Austin, and I'm gonna get him up here, and I'm gonna just try to help him advertise for his team, his weightlifting team, and let people around here in the county
go to competition.
Yeah, what he's doing. He's gonna be going off and doing this stuff, and he wants to do it for his grandkids. And I'm super proud of him. Known him forever, and I love Jason, and he's using what God's given him.
Yeah.
So,
Jason's a good fella.
And we'll bring him on next week, and we'll talk to him and Austin and some of his help. And I may do a special like on a Saturday night or something. I'll play it Sunday. We'll figure out and do something. So we're just trying to lay out what we're going to be doing, because all the footballs. It's
over. Yeah.
I mean, you got conference champs. We're going to have state champions Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this coming week. Right now, this week.
Yeah, it's over. College football.
Gosh, man, something's been long enough.
Well, I mean, it is, except for the bowls, and they're spread out over a 2 or 3 week period, but they really get good right after Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's over.
That's okay. Now, what about January 1st? Fiesta, 1:00 ESPN. The Ducks plays the Liberty and the Tyron Duprees of Cherokee County Warriors from over here. Wow, what a hard, tough draw Liberty has.
Not to disrespect Liberty. I don't understand the matchup.
Speed is crazy at Oregon.
I don't understand the matchup. Oregon and Ohio State, or Oregon and Georgia,
But this is going to be a preview now. And let me tell you, this is a preview of what's going to be next year. Mm-hmm. Because 5 will play the first non-power 5. Right, so we would have who was 5?
Florida State.
Florida State would play
12, which would be LSU. Right?
No, not 12. The 12th spot will be a non-power 5.
Oh, the 12th spot.
So it'd be Liberty.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's what they're doing.
That's what it's going to be. So if y'all don't like these matchups, these 12 teams, now number 6 would play 11, and so on and so forth. Okay, so
tough. No, I don't like that matchup. I think that's too tough on Liberty.
Yeah, it is. And then December 30th, work backwards, the Orange Bowl in the Miami Gardens of Florida. Beautiful place. 4 p.m. ESPN. Florida State will get to say, we want you number 1.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to get number 2, and that's Georgia.
I don't like that matchup. I just don't. I mean, if their quarterback's out and you can't put them in the Final Four, then you're going to stick them up against Georgia?
Number 5 versus number 6. Georgia's 5.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida State's 5 and Georgia's 6. So you got a 5 and 6 matchup. Yeah. That's going to be the Orange Bowl. Good, nice scenery. Georgia that's a good bowl. Now, the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, same day, will be played earlier at noon on ESPN. Then Penn State will be playing the Ole Miss Rebels.
I do like that matchup. I think that's and I got to be honest with you, I don't have a clue.
We'll find out if Lane's ready to play a Big Ten. This is good. This is a good chance for the Big Ten to say
it's a good matchup.
We're better.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
To take these off.
They're burning my ears.
yeah, but I don't. That's a good matchup, but I couldn't tell you. I would think Penn State would be favored by a little bit, but not much. I don't know. That's a good matchup.
And the 29th of December, Cotton Bowl in Arlington, 8:00 on the 29th. Ohio State, Missouri. Is Missouri hey, look now you come on in the SEC and you got the top running back and you got the number 1 receiver and Burton and you got Schaefer in the backfield, Cook throwing it all over the place, and Coach Drink is just doing a magic over there.
I think that's
number 9. Missouri plays number 7.
I'd like to have seen an FSU, like you said, FSU, Missouri, Georgia, Ohio State.
But see, that was last year's rematch since people want
Oregon, LSU.
I would like to see
Liberty, James Madison. I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
just being serious. Wait, they might already played.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Would you want to see Ohio State and Georgia rematch last year? God, boy, this sure was a barn burner last year.
I thought that would have been an excellent game.
Now, they were not. These are not the two same Georgia and Ohio State teams.
No. Stroud was special, and McCord's done good, but he's not. Yeah, he's not a Stroud yet.
No. And Jeff Anderson has just now become an Alabama fan.
I'm anxious
because he wants us to kill Michigan.
I'm anxious to see who LSU gets, and obviously some other good teams out there. Oregon State's not bad. Arizona, Kansas State, maybe. Oklahoma. I'd like to maybe Oklahoma LSU. You think that'd be a good matchup?
Oh gosh, trying to see if I can get a LSU football headed to Tampa and a New Year's Bowl. See, all the bowls is kind of out. Those are just the major ones. LSU will ring in the New Year at Tampa, Florida, 13, blah, blah, blah. Will face Wisconsin in the 2024 Rail Quest New Year's Day.
I don't understand that.
Raymond James Stadium. Wisconsin and LSU.
What is Wisconsin ranked?
I don't even say. They don't
tell
neither one of them. Wisconsin tied for second in the Big Ten Western Division.
Oh, so they're doing that.
7-5 overall mark into the contest. The Badgers close out regular season on a 2-game winning streak, victorious against Nebraska and Minnesota, which are two not real good programs.
I don't. Okay, I see what you're doing. They're taking the Big 12 4 and the SEC 4. Okay, I get it.
Who else?
Let's see if that. I don't like that matchup.
Who else we're curious about?
What about Oregon State? Who's they going to match up with? Who's going to play Oklahoma? Oklahoma's ranked. Who's Clemson playing?
Oregon State Beavers will bowl game plays an opportunity in the final set. Time for the Oregon State Beavers coming in 2023. Blah blah blah. World transfer DJ Uga Duga. They will also fought hard against Confederate Precious Washington, losing to. Well, come on, man, tell me.
Dude, just tell us who they play.
Slated in the Sun Bowl. The game will take place in El Paso, Texas. Oregon State is slated for the Sun Bowl against. Well, Tony the Tiger Whitney Oregon State Beavers will face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
That is a good ball game. I like that.
Notre Dame and the Beavers.
I like it. What about Arizona Wildcats?
The Sun Bowl.
They're the hottest team in the country. The Arizona is one of the hottest teams in Tennessee. I bet Arizona and Tennessee play. What do you think?
Arizona State will not play that. No. What?
State. Anxious to see who.
I think they're under. Yeah, they're under ban.
Still. Arizona is?
Arizona State.
No, I just meant Arizona Wildcats.
Arizona
State's under a ban.
Let's see here. How about we look here?
A lot of great.
Jacksonville State versus Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA and Boise.
It's okay.
Cal, Texas Tech, Western Kentucky, Old Dominion.
Huh. Western Kentucky and OD. Well, we say this a lot of times, and they're right on these bowl games.
Troy and Duke Birmingham Bowl will be December 23rd.
I like that matchup.
James Madison Air Force will be December 23rd.
Matchup.
Georgia State, Utah State, South Alabama, Eastern Michigan, Utah Northeastern, Coastal Carolina, San Jose State, Bowling Green, Minnesota, Texas State and Rice, Kansas and UNLV, Virginia Tech, Tulane, North Carolina, West Virginia.
Like Virginia Tech and Tulane. Tulane's 12-1.
North Carolina and West Virginia.
I don't like that matchup. I don't mean to be negative. But.
Direct Holiday Bowl, December 27th on a Wednesday. Louisville versus USC. Well, USC just dropped
guys, I don't like that.
Well, they dropped the doo-doo bomb. They're just not playing good. Texas A&M plays Okie State. That'd be a good old school rival.
That's a good game.
SMU plays BC. The Hurricanes will be traveling to the Bronx of New York to play Rutgers. NC State Wolfpack will play the K-State Cougars in Orlando at the Pop-Tart Bowl.
That'd be a good one.
Arizona plays Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl.
Nah, I like that.
The 28th, Thursday at 8 o'clock.
I like that. Arizona, Oklahoma. That's a good game.
Yep, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Now, the Gator Bowl is usually good. Clemson and Kentucky.
I like that.
Gator Bowl usually is good. It seemed like Gator Bowl for the past few years is like, I wind up getting stuck on it. Like, it's a good game.
That's a good matchup.
What y'all think about it? Y'all still on here? Y'all still awake?
Kentucky. I like it.
Anybody got some bowl games they like? Memphis and Iowa State at the AutoZone Bowl.
Good one.
Cotton Bowl, Missouri and Ohio State. We talked about that. We talked about Ole Miss and Penn State, Chick-fil-A. Peach. The Transit Music City Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee on December 30th is Auburn and Maryland. So the little Tonga Viola will be matched up against Auburn.
That'd be that's a good.
Yeah, okay. Georgia, Florida State, Orange. The Barstool Sports Video, Toledo and Wyoming. Real Quest Bowl to Wisconsin, LSU.
Yeah.
Cheez-It Bowl, Orlando, Florida, Dean, January 1. Iowa, Tennessee.
I don't like it.
That's garbage.
I don't. I just don't.
Well, it seemed like Iowa, they're the runner-up in the conference, and they have to play a mid-Tennessee team. Iowa feels slighted a little bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That'd be like Georgia playing. It'd be like Georgia playing.
I don't think that's a great matchup.
It'd be like Georgia playing Miami.
It may be.
Am I right?
Yeah.
About the same. Like Georgia, Miami.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
The Fiesta Bowl, talked about Liberty and Oregon. That'll be January 1st. The rest of these are January 1st games. We're about wrapped up here. Rose Bowl. Bama's made it a time to go to Pasadena. I've seen some great games that they've played out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they play good.
The history of their college championships actually started in Pasadena.
I think that'll be a barn burner.
That'll be noon, January 1.
I don't think it'll be like it was a couple of years ago when they played.
And then that night, you'll finish the night out with Texas and Washington. They're playing the Sugar Bowl. Now, how is the OSC?
No,
Why ain't Bama playing the
Sugar?
Yeah, and let Washington stay out west and Texas and then go out
ain't
there.
Even that far from Texas. I mean, it's not right like from going from here to Gainesville, but it ain't as far as Alabama's got to go and Michigan.
Sheesh. I would have put them in the Sugar.
We don't care much about
geographically. I'd have put them in the Sugar.
Saving gas in our country, do we?
I mean, yeah, but Bama and Michigan could just play in the Sugar. They just both kind of fly right over and bam.
And then Washington, Texas, boom, right there.
Bam, they're out there. It's already at the Rose Bowl. But Bama, I love Bama going to Rose Bowl. We'll have a lot of talk about it. We'll have a lot of stuff leading up to that, and we'll come back and start picking them games too.
Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. I know exactly why. Who all you think's going to run down there? Michigan people won't even be there. That thing will be Bama'd out. That may be it.
And so make them both drive across the country.
Of course, they both get the same amount of tickets, I'm sure. But I just think you would. I don't know. That may have something. We don't want to put you nowhere close to where you're.
I think just it matters of how they just are.
Texas is not too far from New Orleans.
Well, I think already you've already just been decided 1 and 4 will be the Rose. They decided
that's
that
just,
last year.
It don't matter. They don't make. It don't matter who it is.
Yeah, they don't know who.
Well, that makes
2 and 3 is going to be the sugar, and whoever it is.
Yeah.
And then January 8th, then we'll see Alabama and Texas play.
Okay.
I guess. I have no idea. I'll put this up on the page.
Well, you're going to see Alabama, Texas, right, Alabama, Washington, Texas, or Texas and Alabama, or Washington, Michigan.
I'm putting it on the page. I'm over here. I'm gonna put it on there, and I'll share that with everybody, and y'all save it, put it on your home screen, and that way you can have it and have access to it, and you can go back and look at the bowl games all the time right here. Bowl games, booyah! Hashtag. And hashtag,
well, but the thing you got to remember about a lot of these guys lopped out of these bowl games, so you really can't go by.
I just can't. I can't.
You
Honestly.
got to wait a week. Don't go make you a bowl pick them tomorrow and pick it, because let me tell you something. They'll be dropping like flies.
Trying to go back through quickly one more time.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, I know. JSU. December 16th, Jacksonville's going to play Louisiana.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. Well, ain't fair. Come on. What? The New Orleans Bowl? You're going to play? Come on. That's some home cooking.
Like Rutgers playing up in the Bronx.
Yeah. Miami's going to fly it up there. How's that going to go?
I mean, Rutgers isn't far from the Bronx.
Hey, circle this one, and we'll go back through these 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Circle this one. I always get one. I always, tell you, hey, watch this game right here. Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Avocados from Mexico. It's a commercial I see. Miami of Ohio and Apple State, December 16th.
Very good.
Circle that one.
I just thought Tulane should have got a better matchup.
Where's Eastern Carolina?
I'd like to see LSU, Oklahoma, and Tulane in Arizona.
UTSA, Marshall, no. USF, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, UCF.
Maybe. Decent.
Troy and the Duke in the 76 Birmingham Bowl. And we could go that one. December 23rd. We've tried to go a few times, and the weather's terrible. It's raining like 2 years ago.
I had somebody tell me, don't ever try to go to that. It's horrible. 4
years ago, we was going to go. But planned, we was set to go, and the high for the day was like 32. And I was like, nope.
Somebody was going one time, and they win. I knew a guy that went one time. He got pneumonia. That's how cold it was. He didn't dress warm enough. He didn't know,
It's too stubborn to leave. By God, I paid my $15 for
He checked the weather, and he's like, what it was 40 when the wind was whipping about 18 miles an hour. So that makes what does that make it? About 28.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What about Louisville, USC? So you're just still not on that one.
No, I don't like that.
Louisville, USC.
I think USC wins it. I like Arizona, Oklahoma, and of course I like the big games. I don't know. Ohio State, Missouri, that may be a good one. Tennessee and no, I don't like Tennessee and Iowa. I don't like the game.
They're both about mid.
I like the Penn State Ole Miss.
Mason Rowe hit the comments before we get off here. Milroe was the absolute difference maker. Same QB that every single football past 3 weeks into the season was screaming, get rid of him. The trouble will always be with the O-line until Saban fixed it. Go Vols. Utah plays the Big 12 next year. Jeff, you are correct. Coach Short being stopped on that one 3 times allowed us to run them. Yes. Talking about the Bama game. Well, guys, I believe that'll bring us to the end of the show. And
another good one.
2:14 is in the books. Come back next week for 2:15. We will talk about rounding up the high school championship and who's going to be state champs. 1 through 7A. We'll break it all down. And
1 through 7. That's a lot of A's.
There's no college football, not yet. It'll be the week after.
Yeah. And
so
we don't get real big till after Christmas, though.
We'll talk about around that week of Christmas will be the better games.
Yeah, that's when. Not knocking these other teams, but most teams most just regular college football fans like the Power 5 teams. That usually starts after.
Yeah, JSU and them play like the 16th or 17th.
Which I think a lot of people around here will be interested in that for sure.
Yeah, to go get home cooked in Louisiana at the Louisiana Dome in the New Orleans Bowl. Come on, committee. You got to do better than that. But Bama and Michigan can't play in the sugar. Okay. Anyway, but I know they can't help. They were 4.
Yeah,
Bama 3.
You're right. That was
decided.
And but you can change things too.
The committee's got the title games in Houston. Yeah. Is that I guess it's at Texans Stadium. Yeah,
have to be because Astrodome's gone. Joel Osteen bought it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have a football game in there.
Well, he may let them have one. Praise the Lord.
I ain't heard nothing out of Osteen in a while.
I seen him the other day. I went to Jack's for church one day and seen him. He's just everything's going to be all right. God loves you no matter what you do. Yeah. Well, he's no doomsday. Not like you need to be saved and repent. He don't do that. But that's for the Big Matt podcast channel.
Sam watched him in a long time.
The same stuff. Guys, thank y'all for coming by and come back next week.
Yes, sir. Good week. I mean, good. Have a good week.
Yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of the week. It'll be a 4-day work week. See you Friday in Tuscaloosa, Cherokee County Warriors.
Y'all have a great week.
Keep your heads clear and your
I
hearts
don't know
full of
why I'm
God.
looking that way. The camera's right there.
Yeah, keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. Have a good night.